Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to I-44 Riverside Speedway here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, for the 17th annual Charlene Meents Memorial. As you can tell, a very windy day here, but the sun has been bright, and you talk about brightness. Throughout the course of this year, we have seen a lot of young drivers coming up through the POWRi ranks, and making his debut here last night was a driver out of California, Dominique Gordon. Dominique, it's good to have you running in POWRi this year.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Very first start last night.
Yep.
And you got introduced to getting upside down real quick.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Tell us what happened.
Got into one. Got in way too hard. Like that was. Got on a wheelie. Kept my foot in it. Hiked it up.
Tell us a little bit about your racing career. I know it's the majority of it's been outlaw cars out in California.
Yeah, so I'm a third-generation racer. Started in asphalt flat cars, running things like key kart, X30s, PRD, stuff like that. And wanted to change, went to outlaw cars. Ran those for a couple years with a guy named Pete Johnston. Really good guy. I mean, he taught me just about everything I know. Decided it's time to start climbing the ladder. Got in the micro, got hooked up with POWRi and the 10J crew. I mean, they got really good stuff. That's kind of my introduction to shocks and power steering and all that kind of stuff. And now we're up here.
Now, how did this deal come about?
I'm not too sure, but
But you're glad it did.
oh, I'm very glad it did.
Of course, you're driving the CB Industries Chad boat cars.
Yep. As far as I know, my dad got hooked up with Chad, probably either through Brian or Jared, and go from there.
What was the biggest thing? Last night was the first time you'd ever been in the midget. What did you notice first off about the midget cars as compared to other cars you've been driving?
Very first thing, they're very cramped. But a lot of horsepower for a car this size. It's sometimes it's a little hard to hang on to. You
did a very good job last night in the feature. You did come back. You got over the flip. I don't know how much damage was done to the car, but I don't think it was that much. But at the same token, you did come back and you made your first A main, and you did well.
Thank you. Kind of got cut short as didn't look ahead too well and ended up hitting a stalled car, bent the shot. Couldn't continue.
Yeah. Well, it's good to have you here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. What's your future in racing?
It's undecided, but hopefully next year we'll run a full tour with POWRi, maybe USAC, depending on how this goes. But it'll be good.
15 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, one of those great talents that we've talked about all summer long. Go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the 17th annual Charlene Meents Memorial, night number 1 here at the I-44 Riverside Speedway in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And Charlene Meents was very dear to a lot of people. Anybody that knew her loved her. But you know, there's one thing that we all had in common. We love the sport of midget racing. And you know, that tradition has continued through her daughter, Stephanie. Once again, 17 years.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's been that many years now. So we're here again.
Here we are, 17 years later. Your mother was so devoted to the sport of midget racing. Many years she was president of the Midwest Auto Racing Association. And, you know, Stephanie, 41 years I've done. I owe your mother such credit. You know, she helped me get to where I am in midget racing.
I think there's a lot of people that she did. This was just the thing that she loved. She started going midget racing with her dad when she was little, and it carried on to her through her adulthood until she just couldn't do it anymore. And I think there's a lot of people. Unfortunately, it's kind of dwindling now. We have a lot more new kids moving into the sport, and I think some of the older ones are getting out. But I think there's a lot of people, and I know she thought highly of you, but she thought highly of a lot of the people that are on our side of it, the official side of it. So it's a thankless job.
Stephanie, this race is this year. I mean, we got Santino Ferrucci of IndyCars. We got Corey Eliason, the All-Star. We got all kinds of. Christopher Bell is going to be here tonight. It just grows by leaps and bounds. And this race, you know, a lot of work goes into that.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how many good cars are here, and there's 20 cars that could win on any given night, if not more. And I cannot thank Richard Jennifer Marshall from POWRi Aviation enough. They stepped up a couple years ago to be my presenting sponsor, and this year they have just come on board bigger than I could ever imagine. And so we have a lot of really cool things for the next 2 days, and it's really cool to see all the good cars rolling in. And not good cars, because we race down here a lot. And I-44, this is my home track now. I'm proud to call this place home. I'm about 20 minutes from here, and so, but to bring those caliber of drivers, and Christopher Bell's in the middle of the NASCAR playoffs, and he's here.
Yeah.
And like you said, Santino Ferrucci and Corey Eliason, and Chad Boat Motorsports and KKM and all of those. It's really cool to have everybody here.
Well, Stephanie, it looks like we're in for a great weekend. The weather's going to be perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, come out to I-44 Riverside Speedway for the 17th annual Charlene Meents Memorial. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in 2017, there's a young driver from Warsaw, Indiana. Craig Rock was his name. And I tell you what, he had such a big future in micro sprint racing. And lo and behold, we come down to Oklahoma, and guess who shows up? Craig Rock. Craig, it's good to have you here for the 17th annual Charlene Meents Memorial.
Yeah, excited to see what we can do and to get back with POWRi. I love the competition here, and I think it just brings out more of a driver when you can race with the best of the best, and it just makes me better as a driver as well to be able to compete with these guys and see what we can do.
A lot of people say just to make it a name, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, definitely, because every car is good. And, yeah, it definitely takes some good driving and a little bit of luck to make it easy. So.
Now, we haven't seen you very much. What have you been doing? Racing local tracks?
Yeah, more local tracks, running a little bit of non-meet. Just exploring a little bit with some different people. And, fortunate and lucky enough to be back with Brad and back with the POWRi series.
It's good to have you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.